Good morning, children. Welcome to online class. Before starting this topic, the difference between static and dynamic, I want to tell you something about your exam. Your pre-midterm exam is going to start, and I had given you two chapters. You have to prepare from both the chapter, but you have to study complete book. Both the chapters from your book, you study whole chapter because MCQ based exam is there. So I will make question from inside your book. I had given you some notes, but you have to study chapters. And one thing more I want to tell you that this year we have to do a project. That is very important. But due to this online class, I will tell you everything online only. I will guide you about the project, and you have to select topic. I will send you some topics if you are not able to take topic, and you have to do project. So be prepared for project. After completing this chapter, I will start your project. I will give you topic, I will send you ER diagram. You have to make ER diagram according to your project and send me back. I will check, and I will, if any correction is there, I will tell you. And after ER diagram, we will start our project. So now let's start this topic, that is static web page and dynamic web page. So what is this? Let us see. Static web page, the content on the server is served up to an visitor the same every time. And dynamic web page is the content on the server is the same but display different data depending on information such as the time of the day, the user who is logged in, the date, the search term it has been given to look for. Static means that we know that static is constant. Whenever you will open, you will get the same thing. Dynamic means changes is there. According to your choice, what you are searching, what you want to see, you will enter and you will get different things. That is a dynamic web page. According to your information or time, you will get the details from your server in a web page. Now, static web page contains simple HTML code. We had learned in class 10 what is HTML code. Dynamic web page along with HTML code also contain dynamic code in the form like script. When if you want to see this scripting language, you can see some code like when you will open your browser, if you will do right click and you will check the source code, so you can able to see the code. Some code you can able to see, means not all the code. There is a HTML code also, and the Java scripting. Java means scripting, like not Java scripting. There is so many scripting languages there, so you can see the scripting language somewhere. So dynamic page, when creator will create, not only they will use HTML, they will use scripting language also. But in static, we will use only HTML code that we had done in our class 10. So this is the difference about the dynamic and static and dynamic web pages. Third is required no additional special software. Only simple HTML code is there that you will write in a notepad and you will run in a browser. Dynamic special software must be installed on the server to create a dynamic web page. So because there is a scripting language, so we need some software also to display dynamic web page. So this is the difference. Let's see what is the difference between a web page and website. A website is composed of a group of web pages linked together. We know that web pages are linked in a website. That's why we are getting a one by one pages and we are searching information we are getting. The website refers to a central location on a web server that contains more than one web page. A website may have just a home page. Home page means what? Front page. When we will search something, we will get home page. Inside home page, there are so many links. When we will click one by one, we will go inside that web pages. And when we will come back, front home page is there. Home page, or it may have many other internal web pages in addition to the home page. Here example is given some. Now, next is web browser. A web browser is a program that lets you visit different sites on the net and display the offering on your computer. We know browser we are using Chrome browser, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer. These types of browser we are using to go inside the web pages, because without browser we can't see our web pages, so we need browser. Special browsers are intended to let you access resources on World Wide Web. The hypertext file discussed earlier in this chapter. So, however, you can use a browser to access other types of file systems as well. There are many browsers available in the market, like Google Chrome, Mosaic, Netscape, Internet Explorer. These types of a browser we are using. So, this is a web browser. Now, web browser toolbar. We know this web browser toolbar. A toolbar of a browser is a bar within a browser's window, generally at the top, and which offers many functions through buttons that can perform within a web browser. Now there are some major functions. First is back. We know that if you want to go back, we will click in a back button. Back, previously opened page. Forward, move to the page from where you have to come to present again using back button. Home page, we know home page, when we will write address in a URL, we will get first home page. Refresh, reload the current web page. If we are not getting something, we are refreshing our page, so we will use refresh. Search bar, which suggestion means you want to search something, you will write in a search bar. History, list of the web pages opened so far. In history, whatever the web pages you have opened, in history we will get information that okay, these web pages are open in these days. Links to news and other vertical searching options. Ability to save pages to favorites. Pop-up blocker. Some optional features such as the ability to use translate words on pages and add another custom buttons, etc. So each browsers offer mostly all of the other mentioned functionality and even more. So there Mozilla Firefox given output is given something. This button is discussed which you will get in your browser. So here with diagram names is given that, so you can understood the browser. So commonly used web browser which we are using, some browsers, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, these we are using. Now browser setting. You can make changes in your web browser settings for things like privacy settings. We need privacy, so you can set privacy settings, search engine, preference, autofill and autocomplete behavior, cookies and so forth. For many types of browser setting, you need to open the setting pages from your web browser and discussed here. Let us see what is the setting. You can open setting in different web browsers. First, open your web browser. How to make changes in a different browser? Let's see. Google Chrome. In the upper corner, right corner, click on Google Chrome triple dots icon and click on the setting option in the menu. So you will get like this. You will click in setting. Opera. If you are using Opera browser, so you will click upper left corner, then click the menu button, and from the menu button that appears, clicks on setting. So a different browser we are discussing here. Mozilla Firefox, if you are using, in the upper right corner, click the open menu and icon and click on the option. Like some browsers are discussed here. Now setting for cookies. Cookies are small text file stores on a user's computer and created and used by website to remember basic information or to record the user's browsing activities. You can enable or disable cookies through browser setting. Now, enable or disable cookies. Page setting, open setting page of your web browser looking for privacy and security setting. If not directly found, click on advanced, choose desired cookie settings. Here in Google Chrome it is given that privacy set here. This is the way how you will go. You will go in setting And after setting, when you will go privacy and secure setting, you will choose, then site setting, then cookies sites are given here. So you can set like this. Opera also given their process how you will go. You will go private settings, privacy, security, and cookies and site. So permissions for enabling and disabling JavaScript, Flash, etc. for other types of permissions on your web browser. So open your web browser, choose privacy and security, go to site setting, and you will do, and choose desired settings for JavaScript. Like JavaScript we are using when we will design web pages. If we are designing dynamic, that time we are using JavaScript. Flash we can use. Pop-up blocks you had seen, maybe some content comes in a block, that is a pop-up block. Ad blocker, this types of settings we can set from a near Google site data. Now plugins or add-ons. In a plugin, also called a plugin, add-on, or extension, is a software components that adds a specific features to an existing computer program, such as a web browser. Plugins or extensions for web browsers enhance the functionality of your web browser by adding a variety of features to it. Here, to view installed plugins on your web browser, how you will see. Let's see, on a Google Chrome, it is found the advanced setting you will go. You may also type Chrome extension in the address bar. It will show you install. Like this, when you will enter in a browser, you will get installed extensions. So this is a plugin. Now here Opera, how you will find that also it is given that the process you will go to add a plugin to your web browser. You need to look for extension store. So which free for your Google Chrome, it is a Chrome web source, or for Opera it is a Opera extension store. Now, for Google Chrome, open extension by typing, how you will write Chrome / extensions in the address bar. You will write from the sidebar, click at open Chrome web stores at the bottom. So this is the example. When you will enter in a browser Chrome / extension, you will get open Chrome web stores. Here another one. Here Opera, how you will open, it is given here with an example. Now next is internet application. What is internet applications? The separate and popularity of internet is because of diverse applications and services the internet offers. Now first is email. Everyone knows what is an email. Email full form is electronic mail. When you want to mail something, we use our Gmail account, Rediff, Yahoo. We will use these types of accounts to send some data to another person. So now what is email? The most widely used tools on the internet is an electronic mail or email. Email is used to send written message between individuals or group of individuals, often geographically separated by large distance. Email messages are generally sent from and received by mail services, computers that are dedicated to processing and directing email. Once a server has received a message, it directs it to the specific computer that the mail is addressed to. Email, we know the email process. How we will send email? We need some email address. If we want to send some mail to another person, what we will do? We will take one email ID and we will write in place of 2 email address to whom you want to send mail, and we will write some message. Then inside the content we will write some letter or the things which what you want to send, or we can attach our document also, and we will send email to that person. So the server goes to with the help of that address, that email goes to that person email ID. So that is shown in a inbox. This we know. Now email accounts and addresses. Also, sending and receiving mail is extremely simple. This is a very simple task to send an email. You can send anywhere in this world. However, there is a few parameters you must be clear about before you start sending and receiving emails. Our such parameters are, what is the parameters? We know how to create email ID. Everyone knows how to create email. If you don't know the process, you can see from here. Email ID @ is must, and after that you will write which email, hotmail.com or india.com. After the @ you can enter from where you have created your email. This is some parameter that @ is an important when you will create your email ID. Now, username and domain name. What is username and domain name and email ID? I want to tell. On the left side of @ when you are entering first name, that is a username. Separate in the username. A username cannot have blank. When you will create your email ID, no blanks is there. What is domain name for the host? The portion of the right of the @ identifies the servers on the host or the network that service service your email. So when you will write after @ that is your domain name. When you will write before, that is username. When you will write after, that is domain name. Now, advantages of email: low cost, speed, waste reduce, easy of use, record maintenance, and patience. The email format can be read by anyone regardless of the email application they use. Does not offer text formatting option. Can have pictures, graphics attached but not inset. So this is a plain text email format. Now what is the limitations of an email? Hardware requirement, impermanent, a hesitant medium, hard to convey emotions. Now rich text format, what is? Allows you to format a message from font, justification, stylist and other options. Picture or graphics, you can insert what smiley we are using in chatting. Cannot be read by every type of email application. So this is some rich text format. Now difference between CC and BCC. When you will send email, you can see CC and BCC. What is CC and BCC? Both CC and BCC forwards a copy of the message to everyone you have listed. The main difference between CC means full form is carbon copy and BCC means blind carbon copy is that with the latter the recipient do not get to know each other. Now here what is BCC and CC? I want to tell you that BCC means when you will send a multiple mail to any person, means not one person, you want to send a mail to more than one person, you will enter in BCC. BCC means that response you will get, you don't those who get response, they don't know to whom get this letter, means individually they will get message. There is no details that how many of them here those who got this type of message. So that is a blind carbon copy, means security based. Privacy is there. But in carbon copy you can easily see that this letter how many persons has got. So you can find that person. So this is the difference between carbon copy and blind carbon copy. There is a privacy in BCC but there is no privacy in CC. Now SAMs and junk mail. You had seen that some mails you can find in his SAM and junk also. So junk here means unwanted. Some mails are go to this unwanted emails that you can find in this junk mail and SAM. So junk mail is an unwanted and unsolicited advertising and promotional request received through mail or email. These two terms typically are used in interchangeable. Now protocols used in email. Basically a protocol refers to standard sets of rules used at each end of communication channel in order to properly transmit information. In order to deal with your email, you must use a mail client to access a mail server. The mail client and mail server can exchange information with each other using a variety of protocols. The protocols mainly used with email accessing like IMAP, P3, SMTP, HTTP. Now we will discuss what is IMAP. IMAP is Internet Message Access Protocol. This is a full form of IMAP. Is a standard protocol for accessing email from local server. IMAP is a client-server protocol in which email is received and held for the user by internet server. As this required only a small data transfer, this works well even over a slow connection such as modem. Means with the help of modem, a user can transfer data with the help of IMAP. Small data transformation is there, so email will be sent. Only if the user requests to read a specific email message, then it will be downloaded from the server. You can also create a manipulate folders or mailbox on the server, delete message, etc. Now what is POP3? Means POP, the Post Office Protocol 3. Protocol provides a simple standardized way for user to access mailbox and download message to the computer. Now SMTP. SMTP is simple mail transfer protocol is used when you send email to other email user, the recipient. The SMTP protocol is used by the mail transfer agent to deliver the sent email to recipient mail server. And last is HTTP, Hypertext Protocol. Hypertext Transmission Protocol is not a protocol dedicated for email communication, but it can be used for accessing mailbox. Also when web-based email, this protocol can be used to compose or retrieve emails from an email account like Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Rediff Mail are good examples of this HTTP. So next topic we will see what is chat. We will see in our next class.